Hi, everybody. This is the workshop on how to make connections with a story. However, we are in difficult times right now because we're accustomed of having our students in the classroom, and now we have to teach them from afar. So here are some ideas of what you could do in order for your kindergarten students to learn how to connect with a story. There are three different ways a child can connect with a story: text to self, text to text, text to the world. For example, in text to self, children remember their past experience so they can relate it to the story. When I read Little Red Riding Hood, I recalled how my mother would ask me to do errands around the house. In text to text, children relate what is happening in the story to other stories they have read. For example, in Little Red Riding Hood, she walked in the woods to go to her grandmother's house. Goldilocks also walked in the woods to find the home of the three bears. They will connect how these stories are similar and different. And finally, text to world. Students think about how the story is related to the real world. In Little Red Riding Hood, they can relate it to not talk to strangers, as Little Red Riding Hood talked to the wolf. Now that your students are at home, how are you going to teach them the strategy of making connections? Well, one of the best way to do it is through a PowerPoint presentation converted into a movie. Please see the link below. Now you will hear a story called Going Places. I am modeling out loud how I connected with the text. Please identify which one am I modeling: text to self, text to text, or text to world. Going Places, written by Chuck Garofano. You can go on a plane. Have I ever been on a plane? Well, I took a plane when I went to Cancun. You can go on a train. I have seen trains in pictures, but I've never been on a train. You can go on a boat. In Valle de Bravo, I have been on a boat and I've had lots of fun. You can go in a car. I see people always driving in the car, going from one place to the other in this big city. You can go in a bus. In my school, nobody rides a school bus. You can go on a bike. Oh, this reminds me of the book we read in class on Sally Jean and the Bicycle Queen. Boy, does she know how to ride a bike. You can go on a skateboard. I do not know how to ride on a skateboard. You can go on a horse. Oh, I love horseback riding. If I could, I would go horseback riding every single day. How do you go to school? Do you go on a plane? How do you go to school? Do you go on a train? How do you go to school? Do you go in a car? Yes, I go in a car. You can assign your students to a story or a song on YouTube. And depending on the age, you would either have 2 sheets of paper or 1 sheet of paper. On 1 sheet of paper, you fold it in half, and on one side, they draw their favorite part of the song or story, and the other half, they have to draw how that story or song is related to their real life. For text to text, you can have the students listen or read 2 separate books that have things that are similar. For example, in Three Little Pigs and Goldilocks and the Three Bears, we have 3 bears and we also have 3 pigs. So what they would have to do is draw the similarities. Connecting from text to world is one of the most difficult ones for young children, but it can be done. One of the ways to do it is reading a story and then showing them a picture that talks about the theme of whatever that story is. For example, Are You My Mother talks about a little bird who is constantly looking for his mother because he's lost. Now, if the child has never been lost, you can show them a picture of a lost child and have them relate how that child might feel if they don't know where their mother and father are. This is one of the ways we can connect to world. So after you read the story, Are You My Mother? One of the things you would be asking them is, how do you think a child would feel or somebody would feel if they got lost and couldn't find their parents? And that would be text to world. Okay, now it's your turn. Now I've given you some ideas of how you can create your PowerPoint in order for your students to start making connections as they read. You can do model think alouds, or you can assign them a story and then you give them a ditto sheet for them to fill in where they can draw those different types of connections. Now it's your turn. So what I want you to do is go to the link below and learn how to create a movie using PowerPoint and be as creative. And most of all, have fun. Take care.